Hi. Well, hello there. Happy Homebrew Weekly. I didn't do one yesterday because it was Father's Day, and I am a father. How you guys doing? What's going on? I'm going the wrong way. Oh boy. See what happens when you try shooting a video and you don't know where you're going? I'm actually on my way to the brew shop. So I thought I would shoot part of my video this way. Hello. And so we're doing a YouTube video.
There you are?
Yeah. I'll see ya.
Okay.
So yeah, what I'm gonna do, I've got some Cooper's kits, and actually I just got another one delivered today from the same guy who sent some of the other ones. His name's Marco. Thanks, Marco. There might be a bit of wind. It's an Australian bitter, and he says it was the last one. I don't think they make them anymore, so he decided to send it. So that's cool. And what I'm going to do right now, I've got some dry malt, and I'm just going to walk down and get some dextrose because I use the 5 and 7 when I make these kits. If you don't know what the 5 and 7 is, I'll put a link down below. It's just something I made up. It's cheaper than buying the brew enhancers. And yeah, I know, I brew a lot of kits, but I got myself and my son now. He drinks beer, and it's just there's no way I could do all grain and be able to keep up, because we do not buy beer at all. In fact, sometimes I have to, but rarely. So, but anyway, yesterday, well, I guess about 2 days ago, I hope you can hear me through the wind. There's a little bit of a breeze here. It's beautiful outside. The other day, I kegged some beer, and I had the yeast cake at the bottom of the fermenter. And what I did was, I just put, the lid on again on the fermenter after I kegged the beer, and I left it. And I kind of forgot about it actually. 2 days later, I thought, oh no. That's that yeast. I've been using it. Probably it's 30th generation now. I hope it's still okay. So I lifted the lid and I smelt it. It was fine. It smelt just the same as it did when I kegged the beer. So then what I did was I brewed the batch of beer that I was going to brew, and I just took that, because I have more than one fermenter. I just took that fermenter with the yeast cake in it, gave it a little swirl, and once the other beer was all made, I just dumped it right from that fermenter into the new beer, just straight in. And it's fermenting out. It started fermenting after like a few hours. It was going. And so it's going. I smelt the air coming out of the airlock, and it smells good. So just a little, kind of a unintentional experiment there. I left my yeast, I forgot to put it in a jar and put it in the fridge. And 2 days later, I was able to pour it and use it into another, pitch it into another batch of beer. I'm not saying that's a good idea. What I am saying is that it worked and nothing spoiled. But the lid was on tight, snapped on tight. So it was pretty safe in there. So I just thought I'd mention that for you guys who are reusing your yeast. I've got some Nottingham yeast as well, which I'm thinking of starting a culture with that too, so I can reuse it as well. Not sure which kinds of beer I would use that in. I don't remember. I'll have to look it up and see what it's the best for. I know I made a... What's that?
I think be careful, people think you're talking to you.
If they don't know what a camera is, they would. Say hi, YouTube.
Oh my God.
How you guys doing?
Fine.
I'm not too bad. Here, I'll stop this for a second. Cousins. So there's that beer. I'll get out of the light. Well, actually, it's better if I cover the light, so you can see the crows in there. This yeast, I'm telling you. See if I move my head. Yeah, you can see it. This yeast is incredible. Look at how high that, all the way up. One time the whole upper side of the lid was just covered in krausen. And that happened just a few hours after I pitched the yeast right out of that other fermenter. So that's pretty cool. And I smelt through the airlock, which is kind of going. Yeah, it's still going pretty good. And everything smells good. Everything smells healthy. Well, run-of-the-mill store-bought beer, which I had to buy today. I just got home with it. And one of these. And this is the Mexican lime, I think. Yeah. So I squirt a little bit of that in there. It's not too bad. Not too bad. Some people have said something about the Amazon pays charges a lot of shipping for these. I didn't pay for these, so I don't know what the costs are. I'm not trying to really advertise them. I just think they're cool. You could get quite a bit of turns out of one little bottle. You squirt just a little bit in, and you're going to get like 20, probably 15, 20 beers out of it. Excuse me. So it tastes pretty good. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's better than just plain old crappy store-bought beer. So that last bit there with the me walking along, I had to cut that short because I realized I forgot my phone at home. So I turned around and went home, got my phone, and then I decided not to go back out. It's like, forget it, I'll go tomorrow. So, but I was on my way to the homebrew supply store to get some dextrose so I could make some beers. And I also ran out of, I shot this video yesterday, and I'm reshooting it now because something went wrong. And I had a homebrew of a Cooper's Australian Pale Ale. I had one, but between my son and I bleeded the keg dry late last night. So I don't have one to show you. But I've got more in there over there that I'll make and give you a look at it one of these weeks when we get one ready. I want to thank Marco again. I mentioned a few people last week and some names that I mentioned to thank people. And Marco, his last name escapes me, but he knows who he is. I go to the mailbox and there's another box. And then on my front step there's another box. More Cooper's kits. So thanks, Marco. I really appreciate that. You saved me a lot of money. A lot of money. So that's awesome. And all the rest of you too who sent nice gifts, and I appreciate that. I mentioned their names last week. So, got a question about Festa Brew. Some of you that live around me might know what that is. And have I ever used it? Well, what Festa Brew is, and I'm sure there's similar ones around, is you buy a box, and in the box there's a bag full of wort. And it's 5 gallons of all grain wort. You bring it home, you dump it in your fermenter, and you pitch yeast. In 5 minutes, you're getting your brewing beer. Now, some people might say, well, what's the sense in that? Why would you want to do that? That's no fun, Remember what I always tell you. Beer is expensive here. Wort is not expensive here. So if I can get a 5-gallon bag of wort for $30 and brew it out into an all-grain beer, I think that's pretty darn good. Because I just paid $35 for 18 cans of this beer. That's not 5 gallons, trust me. So, and it was more, it was actually $37. So that's why. And it goes up from there. In fact, the woman in front of me in the beer store, she was asking about some prices. And so the woman was telling her how much things were. And I think a 6-pack of bottles of Coors beer, $13 for a 6-pack of bottles. 13 for 6. Coors. I don't like Coors. Why am I going to pay $13 for 6 bottles of beer? That's ridiculous. So, I don't need to explain to you why, if I can grab a $35 box of wort and ferment it up with whatever yeast I choose and then put it in my keg, I don't have to tell you why I would do that. See, some people can buy 24 beers for $10. Well, for them that would not be worth it unless you prefer the taste of that beer over the store-bought stuff. And yeah, would be. So I did get a question about the Festa brews. Yes, I have tried them, and the two that I did try were very good. It was good beer, and you could dry hop those, you know. Somebody else asked about what size pot to buy. They were stuck. They were trying to start brewing their own beer, and they were stuck at what size of pot to buy. It depends on what you're doing. So, you know, if you're brewing all grain, you need a huge pot with probably a propane burner. But if you're just doing on the stove, a beer kit, pre-hopped beer kit, or even a mini mash, or you're steeping some grains, or, you know, whatever, you know, you get a 4 or 5 gallon stock pot from, you know, No Frills, or not No Frills, Walmart or wherever. I don't know, they're not worth very much, and they don't cost much, and just start out with that. That's all I ever did. In fact, I started just brewing with my spaghetti pot. Like I used to have, you know, like a set of pots where there's the littler one, and then a few ones in between, and then the largest one. And it wasn't very large, but I brewed beer in that thing for many years. You know, you just top it up with, you know, the cold water afterwards, and, you know, away you go. Now, what I do with mine is I got the induction burner down here, so I'll put about this much water in the bottom of the pot, hot water, and then I'll add the dry malt, and then I'll turn the burner on and start firing it up, stir it around, get all the lumps out, and then add the dextrose. You know, I use a 5 and 7 combination, so that's 500 grams of dry malt extract and 700 grams of dextrose. You could do 5 and 5, but I like the extra alcohol. I just like that little extra kick. So you get more bang for your buck. So 5 and 7, put the dry malt in, turn the heat on, stir it, put your dextrose in, stir it, make sure it's all dissolved. Let that come up to about 180 degrees Fahrenheit. And then just let it cool. Well, you just put the lid on until you get the rest of your stuff ready. Dump it in your fermenter. Dump your can of pre-hopped wort in there. And top it up with cold water. That's it. Bob's your uncle. Get a beer. You got beer in 15, 20 minutes. You got, not beer, but you've got fermenting wort in very little time. Today I also put down another batch, and it's just sitting there. There's no yeast in it yet. It's been sitting for about maybe 2.5 hours because it was too warm to pitch the yeast. And I don't have a problem doing that. Just snap the lid on properly, put the airlock on, and wait a few hours till it comes down to temperature, and then pitch your yeast. And I've got a beautiful jar of recycled yeast waiting over there, just waiting, getting ready to be put in there. It's probably on its 30th generation now. So it's still going strong and still tasting awesome. So yeah, keep recycling that yeast. Don't tell them I told you that, because they want you to buy it. So that's good stuff. So yeah, this isn't bad. Tastes pretty good. Tastes darn good, actually. Much better than without. No, that's nice. That one's nice. Nice summer beer. Good stuff. So I'm gonna break and give you a little bit of this. That was actually a live broadcast I did 2 Thursdays ago today. And it was live on vonlive.tv/CraigTube. I started at about 5 p.m. Eastern. I never know exactly when I'm going to do that, so you'll just have to keep an eye open on Facebook if you have Facebook. But I'm looking at it, today's Monday, or is it Tuesday? Today's Tuesday. Oh, this is late. I'm sorry. I was going to put it out Sunday, but it was Father's Day. So I thought, well, Monday I'll do it. But I didn't have this. I shot this footage and it was ruined, so I had to do it again, and I lost track of time. But anyway, Thursday afternoon, maybe at 5. I can't promise this exact time, but that's what I'm aiming for. On vonlive.tv/CraigTube. I'm going to do another live drumming session. Okay? And I'll post it on Facebook. If you don't have Facebook, I don't know how you're going to know when it is. I'm not a big fan of Facebook myself, but I don't post much on there. I don't post pictures of my dinner or my cats or my front lawn or my whatever, my car or whatever people do. I just use it to announce things, and that's all I do. So, I don't mind Facebook as long as it doesn't mind me and stays out of my hair. Because people post a lot of drama on there, Every time you turn around, they're bitching and complaining about something. Jeez. That's why I don't get on there too often. So I'll set the drums up here and it'll be live. I know this is not all homebrew related, guys, and I'll get thumbed down for this, but I really don't care what they thumb it up or down. I prefer the thumbs up, but the thumbs downs don't hurt me. I've learned a lot about YouTube. They don't hurt people. Any interaction with these videos is good, even if it's a thumbs down. But it just looks better if you get more thumbs ups. That's all. But anyway, I will be doing that. But yes, this is not. I don't have a lot of homebrew stuff to talk about. Yeah, I've been playing the drums since I was about 8, and I stopped playing them for a while when I was in my 20s and 30s. I played them here and there, but got back into them again. There's a whole bunch. I won't turn the camera because it's a mess over there. But there's a whole bunch of drum cases and cymbals and stands and drums over there. I don't keep them set up anymore because I have neighbors that I don't know if they'd appreciate that. So, but every once in a while, I'll go over and I'll ask her, and she says, "Yep, go ahead." And they actually watch too, so which is cool because they can see it live. So at least they know what's going on instead of just hearing banging through the wall. But I love playing the drums, and I was born to play them. And it's one of the things I love to do. So I love to brew, and I love to make videos too. Oh, not a bad beer with that stuff in there, huh? Not bad. Okay. In the meantime, happy brewing, be safe, and I'll see you soon. Thanks. 17.